So, Assalamu alaikum, sir. I hope all is well at your end. So, I am Sarah Manan, and I warmly welcome you on behalf of my other team members of Support Transgender Uplift.
Thank you
So,
so much.
we are conducting this interview for our Global Perspectives team project. So, you actually designed a curriculum in a course that you were doing. So, would you like to give us an overview of that? Like, what were your aims and what was in it?
Okay. Um, okay, we all have been. I mean, I've grown up in this culture, in this society, observing transgenders from my childhood up to now, and they've all lived in a curious people around us. Okay, who are they? What are they? So they build curiosity in us at any point in time, and. Likely so, I mean, as growing up, observing them, I had different encounters with people who I felt were not actually transgenders, but has bent towards them. And, a lot of personalities which you don't feel that they are properly men or they're properly females. So in your friend circles, in your social circles, you come across these people and you develop these curiosities. I'm just talking as a normal human being. And I'm sure you guys also observe these things in the society around you. And then, as I grew up, I would not drag it much, but I've been living in Wall City. There was a different culture, and these transgender people were taken differently. I mean, they were very respected at one time also. But the whole fact about it is you mostly observe people making fun of them and you just feel sad about it. What is going on, man? What's wrong with you guys? I mean, you understand that they have different appearance, they have different accents, they have different voice notes. They have not proper female voices or male voices, and their what you can say it body language is kind of different also. So this whole thing built curiosity in it, and you saw them observing getting abused on streets also. So yeah, this was it. I mean, it got me a chance to work with transgenders or study them keenly after my art education. When I started one photography workshop, I started taking toll in the city, and I started photographing them and started spending some time with them. And one of my friends is in fact is into gender studies, so I developed more interest with him also. I mean, did some work with him, and then I started probing into the community. And I wanted to understand, okay, what is actually going on. I mean, who are they, and why it has been like this as a conscious human being for the first time. And I started my journey like observing them around us, photographing them, and then again when I started my, I would say, mm, yeah, educational career in university. Uh, I think it's a year-old thing. A couple of transgenders came to our university for a seminar, and I was like really intrigued, and I was like, I need to meet these people because transgenders coming in a university and talking on a public forum, it's a big deal. I mean, it takes some courage for them to talk. So there must be some educated people who are coming in and talking to us and talking to a crowd who is who has a very, I would not say fundamentalist, but very orthodox approach towards society, culture, religion, and humans for that matter, and very rigid about this. I am man and she's female. She should do that, and I should do that. पर्दा लेना चाहिए और ये करना चाहिए. This kind of culture and transgenders coming in and talking to this community. So anyhow, I went to attend that seminar. So it was two transgenders. I remember the name of one, Sania Basi, and the other transgender, I forgot her name. So they were actually, I was amazed. They were actually were the faculty at a transgender school. And I was like taken aback. Is there a transgender school? Really? And yes, there's a transgender school in Lahore. They call it Gender Guardian School. And they claim, you can see the Facebook page, and they claim that this is the first transgender school in Asia. Well, I don't know about that. I still need to see that. I mean, as far as Pakistan is concerned, maybe. I mean, acknowledged and approved sort of a school. So we listened to them, and they were beautiful people. I mean, what courageous people! You have no idea. And when they started talking, so I was like, just looking at them. Wow. I mean, these guys, these people face real adversities at the grassroots level. You know, Sanya would say, okay, she came with one of the parliamentarians also, so who was a female, and who was the chief guest along with them. Sorry, and that parliamentarian actually was supporting them, and they, government also needs to pool in their hand. Okay, we are helping the community, so we are supporting transgenders. So she was all along there. So I remember that parliamentarian standing up on the rostrum and telling, Sanya, we are with you people, so be strong, stay strong, don't worry about it. And Sanya came out of the dice and said, look, don't tell us how strong we are, how strong we need to be. We dance at night, we get beaten at night, and we stand up in the morning and work. I mean, Sanya was one of the very educated persons. ठीक है, from a good family. Her family accepted her, and well, she has her own journey because even the families at this level don't accept their transgender children. So she was the lucky one who fought with her family. Her family supported her and encouraged her and gave her that strength and gave her that education. And Sanya was a makeup artist. And she was, I guess, she did her some degree, which I'm forgetting. Anyhow, so and she started working for the rights of the community. देखो बहुत सारे ना हमारे कितने लोग एजुकेटेड है पूरे पाकिस्तान में, आप लोगों को पता है कितने परसेंट आपकी लिटरेसी रेट है, ये आपको पता है. उस लिटरेसी रेट में से भी कितने परसेंट ट्रांसजेंडर्स होंगे जो एजुकेटेड होंगे, ठीक है ना. So anyhow, I'm just cutting it short. So Sania Basi actually give me an alarming kick. You guys, I mean, okay, fine. These guys are striving for their own community, so why can't, if they're reaching us, they've come to the university, how can we help us? Or how can we help them there? So after that seminar, I went and had a chat with Sanya Basi, and I shared my idea that we would like to work with you. I didn't know at that time how, when, what I'm going to do. I was just charged up with a human spirit, and it was like to extend my hand to a community which is being ignored and neglected, and needs to be done something about it. Because me doing alone something about it won't take it anywhere. But again, there are little things as a human being that everyone can pool in the system, in the society, in this globe, in this universe, to extend a hand of empathy and help each other. So that was the whole drive there. And when I joined this master's program, there was this curriculum design subject, and our instructor asked us to design a curriculum. And I was like, okay, I've been teaching since 8 years for my bachelor's of graphic design and design education people. Not designing curriculum, but making assignments, projects, and teaching them in the studios. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something fresh, which would like give me some insight to something more as well. Because curriculum is not only restricted to one particular class. You guys have your own curriculum. My 4-year-old gets up and teaches me something else. I mean, somebody else walking on the street, he's coming from another school, another realm. He has different curriculum. So curriculum applies to to a system actually. So I just wanted to number one understand what curriculum is and how I can extend this curriculum design to a further community, but who really need it. I mean, those people like you, like me, like us, like my children, like my university students, they are privileged. ठीक है ना? Their parents have money, they can afford them, they can send them to universities, and they can get educated. So then it clicked me, okay, why not design curriculum for the gender guardian school from which Sanya Basi came? And keeping my word to her also, okay, I would like to go do some work with you guys. So in hindsight, this whole thing was in my mind. So then I reapproached that school, and I took the initiative to design this curriculum. So this was a little bit small journey. I mean, not a small journey, but like I said, I'm a drag person, so please cut where you want to cut. But कहने का मतलब ये है कि this is what is the grassroots of why I did this and what is transgender and what is my experience, what is my observation, and what made me do this. Yeah.
Okay, so that was, thank you so much, sir, for sharing that with us. It was such an amazing thing. So, my very first question from you is that, in your opinion, what is the importance of transgender education?
Um, the importance of transgender education is as much as an importance of any individual's education in the system. I started talking to these people for my curriculum design, I realized that there are very few transgenders who are educated because they actually told me, Gender Guardian School told me that, even among the population of transgenders, there are like more than 75 to 80% comes from the rural backgrounds, okay, from the areas which are not, I mean, Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi, they're like few developed cities. Otherwise, the most of the population comes from the rural setups. And over there, they treat their family, treat them really bad. I mean, they don't even aren't able to get education properly there. And even in the societies, in the systems like Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi, and developed cities, urban setups, there are very few transgenders who are educated. The problem is, number one, they are deprived of their human rights at a very, at what age they start getting themselves identified as transgenders. Do you know that? So the first realization comes to them at the age of somewhere around 6 to 7 to 8 years that there's something different. By the time they reach the puberty, then they realize, okay, now there's something there that we are different from the other genders now. So when the realization starts coming, then people around them start understanding and start acknowledging and start noticing, and the abuse starts from there. So education far is very far till then. When the basic rights are being deprived as a human being, education remains way back. So they start surviving for their basic rights. And then again, I mean, the most bold of them come and go and meet and connect to their communities and try sustaining and starting earning, because the first thing that comes to them is how to sustain, how to earn my living, and how to go on. So for that, they start working under gurus, and our system doesn't accept. Listen, transgender education is basically, I mean, if you go in the West, you would still see like, well, they speak English, so they're educated, but they still are not. I mean, because education remains way far when human rights come at the first level. So as long as they get educated, they would be able to raise their voice and connect to the community in a proper way, in a proper manner. But unfortunately, it's just not our system, it's a global issue. So, I mean, educating a human being, what more one needs? So, for me, transgender is a human, it's not transgender. So, the right to education to transgender is as much as to any other person in this world. And it would contribute as much to the global community or social setup as much as any individual education system. Mhm.
Okay, so next question is that what impacts will trans education have on our society?
Sadly and realistically, it's a very slow process. Number one, like I said, I mean, it's my observation. I quote, it's my observation. I'm still very, very low on my research. I mean, I have just started it, you know, and even then you realize, okay, what difference can it make to a system? But thing is, you know, honestly, what difference made to me when Sanya came to me? You know, she came to the university and she was educated, and that gave me a real kick. A real kick, when I say, is to connect with them. Maybe at my level, at individual level, but I connected with her because she walked into a university platform because she was educated. She is educated. She is well versed. She talks at UN platform. She talks at multiple international platforms about the rights of the transgenders, representing Pakistani communities. That shook me. That shook me and reassured me. Come on, man, they are normal people. I mean, that thing which was in my mind was there, but I was unable to connect to them because of I was unable to reach them because I've always seen them on the streets. But when Sania actually walked into the university, I I felt connected suddenly and felt a human being as like you, as like me, myself, as like my neighbor or any other talking to me. So that education actually connected Sania to us, and that made the difference. See, so I'm not saying. I mean, if you talk about education of Pakistan, you know the literacy rate there. You go to the downside of the society who are not educated, they would still call them chakkas, they will still call them hiras, they will still call them all those names which they have grown up with, and they still call them on the nights to dance and everything, and they're still known. You can't do anything about that culture there. But only the difference, like you and us people, like you guys are sitting and taking interview and probing into the transgender dilemma in Pakistan or at a global level, inquiring into it. But maybe your next step would be to connect to a transgender yourself. So this is what the impact of transgender education is, and this would make a difference. You know, the only thing is it takes one to teach one. So yeah, it definitely has it's a slow process, but definitely people like, I mean, who understand, they would extend their hand. I don't want them to see standing around my car and begging for 10 rupees every night. And on top, they themselves want, you know, on the other side, this is the connection to myself, and the second side is education gives them an insight that how much more they can do. They don't have to do begging all the time. They can come up with their own employments or ideas to earn. But that's again a complex system because you go and you start a vegetable hawker being a transgender. When a vegetable hawker being a transgender, you go out on the city, the first thing is not they would see vegetables, they would see this transgender there. And the stall calling him, oh, Hijre, where are you going? That's the first kick. So, well, in the end, even if you are abused on the street, or I am abused on the street, or any boy or girl gets abused on the street, we have to be stronger in ourselves to overcome our adversity at that time.